pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Here.
Mr. Franco.
I am here.
And Mr. Cabrera.
I'm here. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, the notice requirements have been satisfied as to the time, place, and date of holding said meeting by posting this change of meeting date and time notice on the bulletin board here in Borough Hall and by mailing and emailing same to the Herald of Cape May County and the Press of Atlantic City on September 27th, 2024. In the event of an emergency, your emergency exit is the door you came in, our front left, your back right, or just by the American flag. This meeting is being shown live here today on the borough's YouTube and Facebook channel. Just want to do a sound check. Mr. Kniff, how are we sounding? Good? All right. If you're watching the live version of this meeting and you want to make a public comment, we have a conference line here. You're going to dial the number 888-363-4734, and when prompted, you're going to enter the access code 969-9020, followed by the pound or the hashtag. In the event you watch the recorded version of this meeting and you would like to make a public comment or ask a question, you're more than welcome to email our clerk at clerk@wildwoodcrest.org or phone her at 609-729-8040. Speaking of the clerk, we have ordinances.
Yes, sir. The first is Ordinance 1437 regarding rental units.
Motions that ordinance number 1437 be placed on second reading and final passage by title only.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1437 be placed on second and final reading by title only.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
And Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Ordinance 1437 reads as follows. An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 56A, Rental Properties, Section 56A-2, Definitions, Section 56A-15A, 2C, and 56A-20, reducing the number of complaints required for revocation or suspension of license, and creating Section 56A-12.1, Occupancy Limitations for Rental Units.
Motion that a public hearing now be held on ordinance number 1437.
Second it.
It has been moved and seconded that a public hearing on ordinance number 1437 now be held.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Floor is open for public comment on ordinance number 1437. We'll start with anybody here in the audience. Anybody on the conference line? Any public comments? Ordinance number 1437. Hearing none?
Motions that a public hearing on ordinance number 1437 now be closed.
I'll second that.
It has been moved and seconded that the public hearing on ordinance number 1437 now be closed.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motions that ordinance number 1437 be passed on second and final reading, advertised according to law.
Second it.
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1437 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next, we have ordinance 1438 regarding the police department.
Motions that ordinance number 1438 be placed on second reading and final passage by title only.
I'll second it. It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1438 be placed on second and final reading by title only.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
I'm going to abstain.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Ordinance 1438 reads as follows. An ordinance amending, supplementing, and restating Chapter 53, Police Department, Article 1, Establishment of the Code of the Borough of Wildwood Crest.
Motion that a public hearing now be held on ordinance number 1438.
I'll second it. It has been moved and seconded that a public hearing on ordinance number 1438 now be held.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Floor is open for public comment. Ordinance number 1438. We'll start here with anybody in the audience. Anybody on the conference line, public comment? Ordinance number 1438. Hearing none?
Motion set a public hearing on ordinance number 1438 now be closed.
Second it.
It has been moved and seconded that the public hearing on ordinance number 1438 now be closed.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion is that ordinance number 1438 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
It has been moved and seconded that the public...
I need a
I'm
second.
sorry, second it?
Are you seconding, Mr. Cabrera?
He's my, yeah, he is.
I am.
Okay.
It has been moved and seconded that the public hearing on ordinance number 1438 now be closed.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Okay, next we have the resolutions. The first is authorizing the submission of an application to the New Jersey Urban Enterprise Zone Authority for Enterprise Zone Assistance Funds for administration of the Urban Enterprise Zone Program for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
I just have a quick question about this. It's just an application for it, right? It's not establishing what the money's being allocated for?
This is the administration part, so this is the 10% of what is totally allocated, so we get like 70,000, 77,000, whatever it might be. We pay 10% to Wildwood, who is
Right.
the administrator of it. That's what this is for the application for that.
Got it.
Just the administrative portion.
Correct.
Yes, Chuck.
Okay, and Mr.
Thanks,
Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing approval of negative change order number 1, final, Cape May County Open Space Program, Crest Arts Pavilion site improvements.
Motion.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is designating trick-or-treat hours on October 31st, 2024, from 5 to 7 p.m.
I'll motion it.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
The next four by consent agenda, if okay. The first is exercising option to extend final one-year extension of contract for Sumbrella Inc., doing business as Billy's Beach Service, for beach concession locations for beach umbrellas, beach chairs, flotation devices, and sale of bottled water. The second is for WC Ice Cream Inc. for beach concession at approved locations for sale of ice cream and ice cream products. The third is for Ocean Outfitters O2 Inc. for beach concession at approved locations for Ocean Surf Camp and Water Safety Instruction Program. And the last is for Big Time Vending for supply, installation, servicing, and maintenance of vending machines for the contract years 2021 through 23.
I'll motion by consensus.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolutions be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing a contract award for a community development consultant.
Motion.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is identifying small cities fair housing officer.
Motion.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is approving public facilities grant management program.
Motion.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing grant application submission.
Motion.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is adopting a state model citizen participation plan for DCA Small Cities Program.
I'll motion it.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing a service agreement with Power DMS for public safety policy management software and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement.
Motion.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the chief financial officer to void certain checks issued from the borough disbursement account.
I'll motion it.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the establishment of the health reimbursement arrangement plan.
Motion.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the appointment of Natalie DeFelice to the Wildwood Crest Recreation Commission to fill a vacancy with term expiring December 31st, 2025.
Motion?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing application submission for the Cape May County Division of Culture and Heritage, New Jersey Council on the Arts Regranting Program.
Motion?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing change order number 1 for the expenditure to purchase installation of roofs to borough buildings, project number 5058710, under the ESCNJ Cooperative Purchasing Program for the Public Works Department.
I'll motion it.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
And we are pulling the next one,
Which one?
the notice to bidders for the Crest Nesbit Center.
Okay.
We need to pull that. Next is designating commission meeting dates and times for 2025.
Motion?
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is designating official holidays for year 2025.
Motion?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Lastly is authorizing release of escrow funds for Planning Board application PB-24-04 in the amount of $186.50.
Motion?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motions that all bills properly authorized as submitted be paid.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that all bills properly authorized as submitted be paid. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motions that all reports received from the court administrator, chief financial officer, tax collector, chief of police, supervisor for the recreation department, construction official, emergency service coordinator for the EMS, and the Wildwood Crest Volunteer Fire Company chief for the month ending September 30th, 2024 be accepted as presented.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that the reports received from the court administrator, chief financial officer, tax collector, chief of police, supervisor for the recreation department, construction official, emergency services coordinator for the EMS, and the Wildwood Crest Volunteer Fire Company chief for the month ending September 30th, 2024 be accepted as presented. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that all minutes from the commission meeting dated September 18th, 2024, and October 2nd, 2024, as well as the special meeting held on September 26th, 2024, be approved as presented.
I'll second that.
It has been moved and seconded that all minutes from the commission meetings dated September 18th and October 2nd, 2024, as well as the special meeting held on September 26th, 2024, be approved as presented. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Okay, brings us to our reports. We'll start off with the administrator's report.
Thank you, sir. So for the Hereford Inlet to Cape May Inlet Beach and Dune construction, right now they're still finalizing the property interests and the acquisition of real estate in terms of easements. We have not yet negotiated our portion of that, but we're going to be doing so shortly. And then the LERD credit, the DEP is working with the Army Corps to establish whether we are eligible or not for that LERD credit, and then what the next steps would be. So I will definitely get back to you on that. That's kind of in the works right now. New Jersey Avenue, we're currently waiting on Taylor Design Group to produce the final drawings for the borough improvements to this project. Triad's completing the informal informational piece that's going to go with it, and we're going to send that out to everyone once it's completed and posted on our website. I did talk to Mike Zampino last week. He indicated his staff was coordinating with Scott Taylor to make sure that this gets over the finish line in the very near future. Sunset Lake Channel dredging, I am still awaiting word from Jahan Nusrat, who is now the new project manager for the NJDOT. She is waiting for the return of Scott Douglas, who's coming back as a consultant to meet with us. And as soon as I receive that meeting date, I will advise. The CAFRA applications, we don't currently have any applications. We did just recently work with Neil Yaskin on some land use issues to resolve the dune disturbance. And we're waiting on Neil to give us a final answer from DEP on that and whether they're going to accept our offer. The Bayside Pump Station work is expected to commence in the southern portion of this project very shortly. We are currently awaiting some property access agreements from homeowners. The contractor has 417 days to complete this project from the notice to proceed, which was issued on September 9th. Due to manufacturing lead times of approximately 7 months, those street ends only receiving the new valves, which is in the northern end of town, will be completed later in the portion of the project. We have received word from NJ OEM that our FEMA application has been identified for further review. The total project cost is $12,505,000 with a federal reimbursement of $9,527,000. Our local share on this would be approximately $3 million, 2.9. This project includes 2 pump stations and necessary connective piping work, which will alleviate nuisance flooding from Cressy to Rambler. This is excellent news for the Crest, and we should be hearing from them shortly. Washington Avenue. We also got great news on this, that our application has been identified for further review. This project cost is $12.6 million. We've been advised that it can take about 18 to 24 months from the time of submission of our application, which was well over a year ago, to award and obligate the funds for these projects. And again, that's great news for the borough. As soon as we hear on the actual award, we will receive a letter and we'll all be notified. Fiscal year 2023 DCA Small Cities Grant. We are right now ready to go out to bid on this particular project. This is for the restrooms here in Borough Hall. And we're going to have to start making plans for alternate restroom use because it's likely that working with the contractor, we may have to demo all at once. And we'll work on a way to make sure that everyone here is comfortable and there are bathrooms for the public. CMC Local Road Safety Plan. There is a meeting coming up at the county on this. It's October 30th from 5 to 7. It is open to the public. They are going to go over the draft plan and accept comments. Also, Collier's Engineering submitted our Safe Streets for All federal grant application for $200,000. It'll be for planning and implementation for safety improvements on certain streets in town. That was submitted on August 29th, and grant awards are expected in November. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thanks, Connie.
Governing body, any questions for Connie?
No, I'm good. Very good. Thanks, Connie.
Thank you. All right. Public, any questions? Conference line, any questions? Okay, that brings us to the engineer's report.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. A couple of updates under capital projects. The Beach Patrol Headquarters renovations project, that building has now received a CO, and we're in the process of project closeout. Second project is the Bayside Bulkhead Replacement and Flood Mitigation Improvement Project. We're continuing to work through private property access forms, submittals, etc., and we're hoping that we're going to get an official schedule from the contractor shortly, but they should be starting construction in the next couple of weeks. We have 2 projects that are going out to bid. That is, Connie had mentioned, the fiscal year 23 DCA Small Cities programs for the municipal bathroom improvements. That bid opening is October 30th at 10 o'clock. We also have the fiscal year 24 NJDOT reconstruction of Toledo Avenues. They're going to be opening up on the same day at 10:30. One update relative to grant applications, the New Jersey I-Bank sanitary sewer and roadway improvement application. We have just finalized and identified the roadways for that project. That's going to back us into about a $3 million project, which is about the same amount as the grant money, so we're eligible for $3 million in grants. We've identified a $3 million project, so now we are working through uploading and getting you ranked and hopefully the money. That's my report.
Okay, questions?
No, I'm fine. Thanks, Mark.
Jeff.
Okay, brings us to our CFO report. None? Hearing none, we'll go right to public safety reports. Chief Lloyd.
He didn't put you on the spot, did he?
It just doesn't get old.
Morning.
Oh, good morning.
I'm going to touch on some highlights from my September report to the Commissioner of Public Safety. In the month of September, the Police Department responded to 1,618 calls for service. 718 of them required multiple officers. We conducted 80 investigations. We had 319 service calls, which include alarms, citizen assist, fires, medical assist, school-related activities, and utility complaints. We conducted 225 motor vehicle stops, issued 45 motor vehicle summonses, and we had 10 motor vehicle accidents. We conducted 371 property checks, 96 hours of training, and we had 14 adult arrests and 4 DWIs. So that is my report, unless somebody has questions.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Anybody?
Thank you.
Anybody else in the public? Questions for our chief? Hearing none? Mr. Cripps, you're up.
He has a report for you.
I'd probably do a better job. Good morning, all. I'll start off with the fire report for September 2024. 31 calls for service, 4 were fires, 4 were rescue EMS MVAs, 2 hazardous conditions, 2 good intent calls, and 19 false alarms. And my report, I'll start off by saying, reported sad day, or sad month of September. We lost EMTs Jared Sweeten and Zach DeVoe, resigned their positions and accepting jobs. Jared Sweeten went on to Stone Harbor Fire and EMS, and Zach DeVoe went into Evesham Fire Department and EMS. We wish him the best of luck, and Zach DeVoe is actually, tonight is his swearing in up there. Fortunate parts is we have 2 EMTs, EMT Emma Finnegan, who moved from part-time to full-time to replace Jared, and Zach Lex from part-time to full-time to replace Zach, the other Zach. So I attended this and staffed the Seafair celebration, a great event, as always, no issues on our parts. And for the month of September, we had 105 calls for service, 33 transports, 30 refusals, 7 public assists, 29 fires, standby, 7 medicals, recalled or canceled en route, and again, we're givers. Mutual aid is 9 to Wildwood, 1 to North Wildwood. We actually responded to Cape May twice and Lower Township 3 times, and received 3 from Wildwood and North Wildwood. And the last I have, so I'm not tying everybody up on this nice morning, chilly. Laura from the rec reached out to me, and she was gracious enough to invite our agency to the AARP meeting. I don't know if they're inducting me, but maybe that's a way of getting me here. But we are doing a presentation on the file of life that our agency provides. So we're doing that November 14th, 11:15 a.m. to 12 p.m. At the Recreation Center. So thanks to Laura for that. And again, that's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Bill.
Any questions? Public? Anything? None? Thank you, sir. All right. That brings us to correspondence. There's none listed. Nothing listed under new business. I don't have anything to update under old business in the interest of time. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to talk about under old business?
Nothing that comes ahead now. Sorry.
Okay, we'll bypass old business. There's really nothing new to report there. We're going to go right to public comments. We'll start with anybody here in the audience. We just need your name. Come on up to the podium. You have 5 minutes, and we'll start with anybody here in the audience, and we'll go to the conference line. Anybody here? Public comments.
My name's Eric Maury. Each meeting, you start off with talking about your public notices and kind of for satisfying the legal requirements of public notice. I also see that these meetings are available on Facebook and YouTube Live, and also I guess you can watch the recordings afterwards. But beyond the legal minimum requirements, which obviously we should meet, emailing a newspaper so that they print it. It's kind of becoming more and more outmoded type of announcement. Do we have any plans on bringing it up to, modern communication without the relying on companies like YouTube or Google and Facebook, which is Meta? Specifically because there's two issues that I personally run into myself, but I've seen reported other things as well. People can get locked out of Meta and Google's world. For instance, if you ever did a chargeback on anything Google related, they will cut off all of your services forever, right? And if they identify that you make a new account and they identify it's the same person, they'll cut that off too. And you're kind of stuck in this loop of, I can't use a lot of these really convenient services that become even more needed because official correspondence ends up happening over YouTube and Facebook. I myself, when I signed up for a Facebook account when I was in college, and Facebook wasn't really a big thing, I wasn't sure where it was going to go. I didn't give them my real birth date at the time. Like I don't like just giving out some small random internet company my personal information 20 plus years ago. And now 20 years later, I have trouble maintaining a Facebook presence at all. Mostly because every time they identify that my actual birth date isn't what I gave them 20 plus years ago, they cut off my account. So I don't have access to the Facebook stuff. I have to go through something. They're not very customer service related. They just basically cut you off, don't give you really much reason, and there's nothing you can do. That's their private company. They're allowed to do it. So if there's ways to rely less on YouTube and Facebook, that would be great.
Our meetings are on our website.
They're on, but are they pumped through YouTube to get to
You
it?
can go right to our website and look at all past meetings and bring them up.
They're hosted not on
Yeah, but it is a
YouTube.
YouTube. I think you're
It's a link
asking-
to YouTube,
Yeah,
or it's an embedding from YouTube,
Yeah.
which makes it more difficult to access in that way. So I guess having just an alternate means of just having the archive on something that maybe the town owns themselves or rents from some other I guess big tech company who can make sweeping decisions on people
Do you have a
that
suggestion?
you can't really do.
Do you have a suggestion?
Renting VPS servers are not expensive. I know people would tend to go to AWS, but there are many smaller business that basically all they do is rent servers out. Of course, you could buy a server. I don't know what our IT consultancy or how they handle it. They could handle it literally in-house. But yeah, there's tons of U.S.-based. They have to follow U.S. law. Services, all of their servers are in the U.S. and it kind of provides another means to provide archiving so that we're not at the whims of a large company. Basically, it serves as a backup and an archiving service. Because it's happened to me with Facebook. I don't know if there's any recorded history of something like happening to, townships or boroughs or anything like that. I don't think there are. But, it's just like having that backup. It's not very expensive to have a service that can hold hundreds, thousands of hours of video for not much per month, less than 100 per month for years and years of worth of video, easily. So just kind of looking into that, I think would be a good idea. And then also, I don't know if we have an email list that people can sign up for that's literally just the public notices, the legally required public notices, so you don't have to seek out the Herald on Wednesdays and read it in the paper? I
The
don't
answer
know.
is no. So let me just, so the borough meets the statutory requirements for
Yeah,
all
that's-
public meetings and then some. When I say
Yeah.
and then some, there's nobody that has call and conference lines, there's no one that's recording and having live video and so forth. So I think the borough's above
Oh,
and
yeah, you're
beyond that.
doing great,
So
yeah.
what I think,
I'm just-
what I think
yeah.
you're saying is just, you would like to see it take
Tweaking it,
another,
yeah.
take another step higher. Understood on that point. With respect to the email list, so there is no email list of the municipal residents or any residents that says, hey, you sign up here. There is one on the borough's website that captures if you're interested in events and traffic advisory type things and, things that are going on locally here in the Crest. There is that ability and a sign up on the website, but not specifically for meeting notices. So.
Okay.
I think the best thing to do is, with the statutory requirements that we're doing the best that we can. Certainly if there's, you're talking out of my league here when it comes to the technology part or something outside of there, but certainly we can talk to Eric, who is our IT guy, and then we can figure that out if it's a budgetary concern or issue or and whatnot. Sorry, Brian.
All I was going to just add is that our meetings are actually recorded right to the borough server. Beyond that information, we have to get our IT person involved. So I would imagine that if there was ever an issue where if YouTube crashed and people wanted to see our municipal meetings, we'd be able to access it. Beyond knowing that they are recorded there, I don't know above and beyond that. We'd have to consult with Eric on that, but they are recorded directly to the borough server.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so it sounds like it's not too big of a leap.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Public comment? Oh, sorry, Eric.
Oh, no, that's all.
Okay. Anybody else public comments? Anybody on the conference line have any public comments before we move into commissioner comments and then a closed session? All right. Hearing no other public comments, we'll go to commissioner comments. Anybody?
Good, Joe.
I just wanted to thank the staff for the Crest Best race. It was well attended. It was, I'm glad to see that was brought back to the community. I think everyone involved did a really good job, and I'm just happy to see it come back to our town. We had a really nice weekend. I think the mayor ran in that, and I don't know if you won. Did you win
I
that?
purposely didn't. I ran it slow, so I didn't win.
Okay.
I didn't want to win. Can't win your own race. So.
But no, congratulations. That's all. That's all for me.
Go ahead.
You guys already took my comments. I was going to say something about the beach patrol building. We do have the CO finally. We're moved in, and we're ready for the next season. And the run I was down to, I didn't run in it, but I watched it. It was good.
Thank you. And I want to give some shout outs to Public Works, PD, Rescue, Volunteer Fire.
Public safety?
Yeah, everybody I've talked to. I mean, when I was running, I was making it a point to say hi to people along the way, residents and the runners. And
Was that you shaking hands? Is that why
Yeah, it was-
your time went down?
shaking hands, kissing babies, and all that along the run. So it's all that good
Perfect.
stuff. So all good. But kudos to everybody and all in the entire municipality. Next year's date tentatively October 4th. So anyway, all right. Entertain a motion to go into closed session.
I have to read the resolution.
Go ahead.
Authorizing executive close in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, specifically NJSA 10:4-12B with regard to one item, potential litigation. Can I get a motion?
Motion?
I will second, Trish.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Sheffield?
Yes.
Mr. Franco?
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera?
Yes.
Okay, it's 10:03.
All right, we'll take a